What am I doing? Oh, what the hell is this get up? Okay, what am I doing? Do I have something? I have something. A cuddle 9. The damn Sahagin didn't get on stream. Damn internet. Doesn't make any sense. I got all the mounts. The Beast Tribe mounts. Time for this. What? Standing at the helm. Is this his father? What's going on here? Greetings, Glide. With the Cerulean engine now integrated, the Dezu Qualon is entering the final stages of construction. Not for long now, not for long at all. Once this airship is proven skyworthy, the field of aeronautics will never be the same again. There is, however, another favor I would ask of you. Are you familiar with Geralt, the master weaponsmith who resides in Hurst Mill? We will have need of his legendary smithing talents if we are to complete our steering mechanism, the helm of the Dezu Qualon. Only he can properly combine and align the necessary components. Pray take these materials to Geralt and request that he aid us in our endeavor. Gerald. Bloody hells, ain't you supposed to be training that toy I made for you? Off with you. My head feels like a kettle what some bastard's trying to pound the dents out of. Pay no mind to Master Geralt, sir, good sir. Oh yeah, and Drake's from here. I'm just now finding out. His temper is as short as his night of carousing was long. Carousing? Now, what do you have that needs mending? A kettle? A cookpot? Nothing of the sort? Well, if you don't mind dealing with an apprentice, I should be happy to hear the details of your request. Now then, sir, what manner of task has brought you to our humble forge? The helm. Custom-made helm to fit a new breed of airship. Tricky. I can understand why you would seek Master Geralt's expertise. Though he is first and foremost a forger of weapons, the masterpieces he creates demand a flair of the innovation and an eye for the minutest of details. Should he turn his hand to crafting your vessel's helm, then I can promise you that the end result will be of unparalleled quality. As you have witnessed, however, the Master's present demeanor falls somewhere short of amenable. Beyond the threat of debt collection, there is little that will convince him to take up his hammer. Are you yourself not an artisan of some skill? Then allow me to suggest that you take a portion of these materials and craft the finest helm handles you can manage. Despite the grumbling, a challenge. Yeah. Why is... It's not... What? Wow, this is pretty big, actually. Psych. Do 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 do. Oh yeah, I have this. Oh, what happened? Okay. Take the stuff. Here we go. I don't like talking to this guy. Flying boat, huh? Alright, I'll do it. I know that fire in your eyes and bugging me if I don't respect it. Might be as I'll need some time to get the work done, though. Don't fancy making finicky adjustments until the fog of booze is good and gone. Once I'm satisfied it's ready, though, I'll have the finished parts delivered to your shipyard. What? This approach? Glad you're back, Master Geralt. Agreed to the task. Excellent, excellent. I can think of no other major barriers preventing us from completing the Desu Quan. An airship? Tip the scales. All blades, stand ready to begin the extraction. Spare no mercy for these feathered savages. Nani? Did he just miss everyone else? Squawk, what comes barging into Zezo's camp? Remember inviting armed thugs to dinner. Zezo does not. Save your indignation, beastman. You'll roast for kidnapping Master Tataramu. Kidnapping? See you any shackles around his ankles. Free as a bird, Tataramu is. How did you even find me here? How many times must I tell you to leave me be? Enough of this petulant nonsense, Tataramu. Father! father. Ah, chief of Highwind Skyways clan. You must be. This is the workshop for which you have caused so much fuss? There are no proper tools, no materials. Why, it barely qualifies as a dumping ground for our factories as refuse. What is it you wish to do, boy? If you want to tinker with airships, the company has them in abundance. I'll have Carlson arrange for you one of those new Garland Ironwork models to be docked in a spare hangar. No, father, you do not understand. This is not some game or idle pursuit. Squawk, call my campground for dumping refuse you, do you? Shove cerulean hose up chairman's backside, says a wood. If already there, broomstick wasn't. What foul company you've been keeping. These birds have obviously deceived you. Do you honestly believe such brutish creatures capable of building a functional airship? You are the only guilty of deceit. You are the one guilty of deceit. The Ixal are the reason were able to take to the skies in the first place. Why do you insist on hiding the truth? Are you so afraid of damaging the company's reputation? Or are you simply too proud to admit that we borrowed the knowledge of beastman savages? Fear and pride can only weigh us down. Only by casting aside such ballast can we truly reach the heights of which we are capable. I'll not stand here and be lectured by my own child. Cease this impudence at once. Oh, sir, we really must be away. There are those 2 items of business in Limsa Laminsa that require your attention, followed by a dinner engagement with Councillor Turston at the Coral Tower. Yes, we are almost done here. Bring my son. If he decides to struggle, there is no need to be overly gentle. A small dose of discipline will do him good. Father, you cannot do this. Please listen to me. Tatarama, we will not stab you first with feathers, then pluck you, then roast you, says a will. This is our workshop now. Squawk, gone Tataramu is taken, strangled, and stomped on. His dreams are, for the first time in Sezu's life, wish to harm featherless one Sezu does, share with them secrets of balloons, and now think they own skies they do. Sezu Quan stands grounded, interrogates final components we cannot. Patience now, wait and hope for Tataramu's return. We must occupy ourselves with crafting needed parts. But if Chairman sets foot into Colonine's camp again, stuff into sack and beat bloody with tree branch, says a will. What was that? Respect. Ixal oak nuts. Oak knot, oak nut, oak knot. Thanks to your diligent efforts, Dazzle now has a functional steering mechanism. Continue assisting the Colonine to see the airship hybrid reach completion. Bird is the word. So is there even more to this? Oh my lord. I still need... Damn Ixal. I'll do this quest later. Next. I think it's time to continue. Well? Cryo. Old enemies, new threats. Hold on, I need to... Glide, my, what a pleasant surprise. If you've come to inquire after the Archons, fear not. Master Matoya's treatment has proven effective in stabilizing their corporeal aether. We mustn't grow complacent, however. Potent though these magics may be, they are not without limits. We can only hope they afford us enough time for the Crystal Exarch to complete his work. If only we could go with you to the first and help. Pardon the interruption, but I come bearing urgent news. Ah, Clyde, it has been far too long, my friend. We're friends now? Okay. Forgive me, I don't believe we have been formally introduced. Maxima, former Garlean ambassador. I remain here in Eorzea under the auspices of Commander Alden, offering what counsel I can in the hopes of resolving the conflict with the Empire. Ah, yes, I have heard stories of the defector from Garlemald, but never did that. You said you... Never mind that, you said you have urgent news. Indeed, as you may have heard, the Imperial capital is in turmoil, and a sizable portion of the Garlean forces have been recalled from the Gimil Dark, which... With their numbers so greatly diminished, the main host of the Alliance has withdrawn, leaving the Alamegan resistance to keep watch over the border. And it is there we have welcomed a most unexpected visitor who claims that the de-escalation may belie growing dangers and unforeseen threats. Commander Alden has arranged for an impromptu meeting to discuss these revelations. He has also requested a representative of the Scions attend as well, though it was clear to whom he wished I extended this invitation. It would seem time is of the essence. Well, you'll not be attending this meeting alone. Though I am not as well versed in the affairs of city-states as our comrades, I see no reason to burden a single Scion with all this. Yes, of course. Then we must make for the Alamegan quarter with all haste. Well, what are you waiting for? Get going, you two. Hello? You do... Alright, what is this? What is this? Just go. Need all this nonsense? Yeah, I forgot. I need to do one more thing before this. Ala me go! You gotta talk to Flamin. She's crying. One final journey. Oh, God, forgive me. I did not see you there. Ever since you spoke to me of your last moments with Philia, I find myself often thinking of the moments I shared with her, and it was during one such moment of remembrance that a missive revived from an acquaintance in Ulda. Even now, I can scarcely believe the letter's contents, written as if it answered to my heart's lamentations. Fortuitous timing is nothing short of a miracle, no less than your arrival here this day, I should think. I am about to depart for the Sultanate to meet with my acquaintance, you see, and I cannot think of a better companion for this journey than you. Will you not indulge me with your company? I would not begrudge your absence, but if you are so inclined, it would mean more to me than you would know. Is this something to do with Philia? Indeed it is. If what is written in this missive is true, I may yet have a chance to offer her a proper and final farewell. We are to meet on the steps of Thal in front of Eshtame's Aesthetics. Pray go ahead. I will be along shortly. I don't even know where I'm supposed to go. Just guessing. Did they say the Sultana? The Sultanate? Let me just walk. The heck? The hell's he talking about? Hold up. I hope I have not kept you waiting over long. Yes, you have. Flamin, thanks for coming on such short notice. Hey, these are the miners. Glide, what a coincidence. What brings you here? You're acquainted. Then I needn't worry about introductions. Glide was with Minfilia in my final moments, you see, and I thought it only right that he be present. So, is it true, my friends? Did you find it? To start with from the beginning, the concern was contracted to work on the waterways below Ulda. Naturally, that included reconstruction of the Sildi aqueducts. Oh, and they had a quest for is this hard mode Sunken Temple? Whatever? Was that their quest too? I don't know. Naturally, this included reconstruction of the Sildi aqueducts. The place Minfilia and the others fled after the ill-fated banquet. Aye, and while we were clearing out the tunnel, a glint amidst the debris caught our attention. Cat's eye. At first, we wondered how it got to be there of all places, but then we remembered the stone Infilia gave you all those years ago. Is this 1.0 lore? There's no mistake about it. This is the self-same stone. Hey. The very first stone she ever unearthed in those halcyon days when she was still called Asilia. Till the day when she needed it more than I. She needed so lost that day in the waking sands. She seemed so lost. I knew that the cat's eye would remind her of how far she had already come, and instill her with a little more courage to take the next step. To think she wore it all this time. When we searched the waterways shortly after the collapse, we didn't find a trace of the scions, no belongings or anything. Curious that it would appear after all this time. Yes, curious indeed. The stone in hand, Minfilia pressed onward in her quest for true peace. Never once did she look back. Though she is gone, her legacy lives on in you, Glide, and the scions, and in the child Reen. Safe in the knowledge that others continue to walk in her path, she has sent this stone back to me. This I choose to believe. She has earned her rest. I shall bury this stone, that she might have peace in the hereafter. Where are you thinking? Next to where her father rests. Father? Indeed, it is no better place than with your loved ones. Well, you're doubtless keen to see to that, so we won't keep you any longer. We'll find a moment to go and pay respects ourselves afterwards. Till next time, take care. Thank you, both of you. Lord Burton was interred here in Ul'dah at Erlig's burial chamber, but around the time of the Scions' founding, he was moved to the Church of Saint Adama, Landama, under care of Father Iliud. Come, Glide, let us seek out the Father and request his permission to bury the stone. Camp Dragonhead? I mean, Drybone, yeah. Oops. Welcome, my son, welcome. Amin has explained to me the purpose of your visit. I see no reason to refuse you. Minfilia would wish to rest with her father. I have known her since she was but a child, but full of hope and wonder, and aspiring young miner following in Flamin's footsteps. A dutiful student, to be sure. Nary a day passed that she did not set out to the wilderness without pickaxe in hand. But fate would see her set aside the miner's tools and instead don a mantle for a far greater responsibility. She was as passionate then as she was in her childhood, a fire in her eyes that refused to be extinguished. It was that flame that compelled me to lend the Scions my support without a moment's hesitation. To now see so many brave and noble souls continue her work, it only reaffirms that I was right to place my faith in her. Forgive my meandering musings. You have not come to hear me wax nostalgic. Pray see to bring the cat's eye. The 12's blessing be upon you. Thank you, Father Iliu. Come, Glide. Ward Burton's grave is just south of the church. Here it is. It was 20 years ago that Warburton came to Uldal, risking life and limb to warn us of the threat encroaching on Eorzea. 20 years ago that my ambition robbed him of his life, the daughter of her whole family. You would have been so proud of her. She was a warm, compassionate, and vibrant woman, always ready to answer the clarion call of duty without a moment's hesitation, just like her father. In the end, that selflessness would save not one, but 2 worlds. Now her duty has ended, and though you are worlds apart, I pray with this stone, this precious gem from Acilia, a part of her remains at your side. Just as she remains forever in my heart. Oh, Acilia, never did I imagine such greatness could be born from a beginning so humble. I am proud to have been there for the first little triumph. Not only did you find gemstone, you found your own path. That path took you far away to a place fraught with danger, but you have achieved all that you ever desired, and you have returned. Rest now, Acilia, my dearest daughter. Won't you say a few words too? ... You can rest now, Minfilia. I even know it. There is much I've left unsaid to Acilia, but I feel as though a weight has been lifted. With a lighter heart, I shall return to Mordona and resume doing my little part for the Scions, for her legacy. Wherever you may be headed, please take care, and when you meet them, do pass my regards to Thancred and Reen, all of the others. Thank you, Glide, for everything. Yowie, wowie. Much has changed since the first time we set foot in the city. Now we strive to preserve their freedom rather than reclaim it, but we've not the time to reminisce. We mustn't keep the commander waiting. Was Kryl even here? Commander Alden awaits us in the Royal Palace. If you would follow me. Kryl was in Eureka, or something, I don't even know. Kryl was in... oh yeah, she was here. She was in Ralga's Reach. What the? You!
They're here, Commander.
And I, for one, am grateful that they are. Told you've been busy since our paths last crossed at the Gimlet Dark. Not that I understand half of it. When the science spoke of other worlds, I'd struggled to describe what I pictured. Mayhap things would seem clearer were I to hear the tale from your own lips. But I'm afraid the situation will not afford us that luxury. I trust you two require no introduction.
We meet again, hero of Eorzea.
Did his voice change? From Stormblood?
Must we repeat this ridiculous display? I pose no threat to you, though what I come to warn you of very well might.
What the heck? I don't like how if the voice changed, I like the old one.
Had he meant to do us harm, I hazard he would have kept to the shadows and brought more than 2 companions. We need not pretend to be the best of friends, but I hope we can put aside our differences for the present.
How very glib.
As you are doubtless aware, Sir Estinian and I cooperated to rid the world of Black Rose in your absence. Our journey together took us as far as the Imperial Palace, where we witnessed Emperor Varus meet his death at Xenos' hand. Being the sole witnesses to this crime, and in no position to defend our innocence, we were then forced to flee, each pursuing his own avenue of escape.
This guy has a lisp, I think, or something. He's really pronouncing his S's or something, I don't know.
When we were later reunited, Estinian claimed to have encountered an unfamiliar kind of machina during his flight. But to me, his description seemed anything but. And upon further investigation, I found that I was right. The Empire is developing a new Ultima weapon.
What, that Allagan monstrosity? Created to vanquish primals? With which you yourself once thought to conquer Eorzea?
The same. In my foolishness, I sought to harness its power, and became the Ascian's pawn in so doing. But you know as well as I how that tale ended. The weapon itself, excavated from beneath this very city, was destroyed ere we could fully unravel its secrets, and that should have been the end of it. But unlikely as it sounds, the Empire's efforts to recreate it have somehow borne fruit, primarily through secret research conducted by the 7th Imperial Legion, it would seem.
Wait, the 7th was all but annihilated at Cartano, along with its legatus.
Indeed. Few survived. The 7th, as it is now, has little in common with the Legion led by Vandanis, and its leadership has changed hands several times since. Precisely how this project has continued despite such turmoil, and under whose auspices, remains a mystery. What we do know, however, is that a number of prototypes have been produced, and that one of them is on its way to Eorzea. We attempted to stop it, but it was all we could do to slow its progress, so we resolved instead to bring you warning.
And right glad are we that you did, though it soundly dashed our hopes that tensions might ease at last.
As it is, we've begun to strengthen our presence in the Gimlet Dark, and are assembling a force to meet the coming threat. A force with you in its vanguard, I hope. Before you say anything, I know full well you have pressing concerns of your own. Your comrades remain in peril, and I would not ask you to forsake them. But the fact remains that you, and you alone, have faced the Ultima weapon and emerged victorious. We need you. And so, when the time comes, if your comrades can spare you, I bid you lend us your strength. I've assigned an officer to await your word.
They're making a second Death Star.
The Ascian's downfall was to be the work of my remaining days. But it was my hand that kindled these flames, and I cannot allow them to spread any further. I will do what I must to see this mistake consigned to history once and for all. Even if it means begging your aid. The Fates will enjoy the irony, even as I endure the ignominy.
Ignominy.
I too shall make for the border and offer my skills, meager though they seem in such company. Mayhap we shall meet there anon.
Though we can ill afford to ignore the coming of a new Ultima weapon, our friends' plight grows ever more precarious, and none save you can join them in the first. I only hope you are not forced to make a choice.
As ever, the way forward is paved with difficult decisions. We can ill afford to ignore the threat of a new Ultima weapon, but with each passing day, the plight of the Scions grows ever more perilous. You cannot stay for a debriefing of the ultimate weapon. I will not stop you. I only ask that you confer with me before you returning to the first. What's this? The way home. I take it you're ready to return to the first, and I would ask that you apprise the others of recent events here in the source, namely Xenos' return and the development of a new Ultima weapon. As for their bodies, you may assure them Master Matoya and I will continue doing what we can to keep their corporeal aether stable. Safe travels, glad. I hope to see you and the other Scions soon. Ruby Doomsday. Glad you can make it. As you may have heard, Commander Eldon has given orders to embark from Alliance headquarters to hold back the advance of the Empire's latest menace. Not that the soldiers stationed there are too chuffed about being on the front line. Again, these new weapons, if they're designed to slay primals, they'd make short work of us mere mortals as well. Mind you, if Gaius Balsars and his followers who've led the charge so far, by all accounts they've been giving as good as they get. Unfortunately, their sorties have met with little success. I dare say they'd benefit greatly from your presence on the battlefield. If you're ready, my colleague over at Porta Praetoria will show you the way. So is this the 3 trials questline? I'm assuming? On your way to headquarters, I take it? I don't know if I should do this right now. Doma. Severa. Gaius says you are our best hope for defeating that abomination. We have seen only a glimpse of its true power, and even that was more than enough for us. To be honest, we weren't sure if you'd ever show up. I, for one, am glad you decided to throw in with us. So, your mind is set. Then I shall apprise you of the situation. We have discovered that the previously abandoned Ultima Weapon project is being helmed by the reformed 7th Legion. They have already succeeded in producing several prototypes, one of which is set to be deployed on the Eorzean front. Its name, the Ruby Weapon. Severa and I were able to get within striking distance during one of its test runs and made an attempt to destroy it. An attempt that ended in failure. Alas, based on our knowledge of the original Ultima Weapon, the explosives we employed should have been sufficient to blast through its armor plating, but they barely left a mark. We suspect the gifts of its predecessors may have proven the source of its resilience. As you well know, the Ultima Weapon was designed to absorb aether from icons. The Ruby Weapon no doubt shares that ability. If any were summoned during the uprisings in Garlemald's occupied territories and thereafter consumed, our enemy would become all the more formidable, but its near impenetrable armor was only the beginning of our troubles. It fought back with whip-like claws that can be extended and contracted at its will. In the face of such opposition, we were forced to withdraw. Gaius was injured shielding me from the Ruby Weapon's assault. Even now, he struggles to stand. Damn it all, if I hadn't been so careless, this wouldn't have happened. You need not concern yourself. Let us not forget that I am the one who initiated the Ultimate Weapon project. If I must give my life to bury this shameful legacy, then so be it. If you were to face it as you are now, you'd be cut down before you even hobbed within firing distance. Hobbled. In any case, we can't afford to lose the information in your head. On both the foe we face and the Empire itself, we all know that asking for Glide's assistance presents our best chance of stopping the War Machina. Tis true that if anyone were capable of putting down such a monstrosity, it would be him. Alright, I get it. Though I have no right to ask of you, will you lend us your strength? The hell do you think I'm here for? I'm not one to back down from a fight. What? You have my thanks. And mine, though I must impress upon you the urgency of our situation. We have received word that the Empire is preparing to advance on the Gimlet Dark. This is where we will intercept them. If our fears are proven correct, the Ruby Weapon will be among their host. Should it break through our lines, there is no telling the devastation it will wreak. Make no mistake, the very survival of Eorzea hangs in the balance. Once you have steeled yourself for the battle ahead, your escort will lead the way. What price must the world pay for my hubris? A short while earlier in the Garlean-occupied city of World's Magitech installation. Commencing Ruby Weapon activation sequence, all units stand by. Initiating synthetic aurosite system. Fusion successful. No signs of incompatibility. Awaiting your signal. Ruby weapon, go name Darnus. Ready for launch. Valdiolon has briefed me on a such mission. Cinder Drift. Time to look up mechanics so I don't do something dumb. What? Excuse me? Well then, I guess I'm not doing this. I'm gonna need to gear up a bit. The hell? The hell, Square? Gear is not supposed to be a requirement to advance. How dare you? I'm actually like kind of glad. I want to do 5.2. What is this? What's next? Where is it? What's next? What's this? What is this? What is this? Actually, do I have? I might actually be able to get some stuff. I forgot he has a quest here. I do not go to Yuhumari ever. I'm still stuck in Kugane. I got these from freaking PvP. My PvP is OD right now. 6 for 6. still need to get bronze though. Never third, because I don't take L's. Oh damn, there's wolf marks for these? I need to do all this. Okay, well, I got something, but wait, where's the other thing though? What about the red ones? Oh, is this? $520, 4.8. Oh my lord. Well, I could still get a waste, but that would be a waste. No, I have to get this eventually, you know, so... But I don't want to do the other stuff. Like at 4 or 5, I don't want to get carried straight up. Let me just do 5.2, I'll go back to that stuff. Might get better gear. Where the hell is... what is this? I need a lot of tombstones. Well, now I'm 459. Let me look at the mechanics again. It's only 2 phases. I'm practically going in minimum level. Let me sockets. I don't even know what's optimal. Spells? What's going on here? Why do they look the same? Oh wow. 5, 6, 7, 8. And let me check later on. These are 8s. I imagine I want spell speed. Let me just look it up, because I'm not gonna figure it out myself. Weapon damage? What are you talking about? What am I looking at? I don't know what I'm looking at. Let me just put whatever. I don't even know. I think I'm gonna do MSQ. I don't think I'm ready for this yet. I'm just looking at these mechanics. This freaking guide isn't saying anything. I'm gonna wait till I get some better gear too. You've come at the most opportune time, my friend. I've made something of a breakthrough in my research on the soul and a means to return the Scions home. I trust you too have been making good use of your time. Ill tidings from the source, you say? Then I will summon the others that we might all be apprised of the situation. The gang's all here.
Now that we are all here, what news from the source?
Ultima. Hold on.
A new Ultima weapon. We must count ourselves lucky that Gaius has pledged his assistance.
While this is indeed a worrying development, I think the state of the Empire as a whole greater grounds for concern. With the Emperor slain and Xenos returned, it is impossible to predict how matters will unfold in Garlemald. The Ultima weapon may be but the first of many unpleasant surprises.
True.
The situation beareth closer observation, of that there is no doubt, and doth compound our need to return unto the source.
Then let us address that issue. Our long search for a means to see you safely home may well be nearing its conclusion.
Oh?
Thanks in large part to Urianger and Beklug's invaluable insight, we have succeeded in fashioning a vessel for the journey.
Eh? Magic school bus?
We set out to create a crystalline container retaining the more useful properties of white aurosite, but without its regrettable limitations. And after a good deal of trial and error, we made one. An ark for soul and mind both that will allow your incorporeal self in its entirety to be ferried between worlds. A spirit vessel, if you will.
However?
Though the vessel is possessed of the requisite qualities to hold mind and memory, it wanteth yet for a means to receive of them. For that, we must needs imbue it with the Exarch's innate gift.
A gift that lives on only through the blood of the Allegan Emperors, which certainly does not flow within Aurosite or any other crystal.
Just so, milady. The blood serveth as a conduit of sorts. In its absence, memory cannot pass from mind unto mind, nor from flesh unto crystal.
That being the case, we must either alter the process of inheritance so as to require no such thing, or determine a means by which my blood may permeate the vessel. I am hopeful that the records found within this tower will yield the knowledge we require to pursue one or the other of these avenues.
As well you should be. The Allegan's body of etherological research is extraordinary. I can scarce believe it the work of ages past. But its underlying principles are not so very different from those of my own field of study. Given time, we will find the answers we seek.
I know that you can ill afford to wait, and it pains me that I must ask you to do so. I can only reaffirm my promise to you that a solution will be found. Whatever it takes, I will see you safely home.
My apologies.
Lena.
I do hope you haven't come to tell us that mortal peril fast approaches.
No. I had hoped to speak with the Warrior of Darkness. But there is no need to cut short your meeting on my account. I will be waiting outside.
How's the smile? He wasn't even looking at it.
Why not speak in here? She knows I don't mind. Unless she didn't want to.
Perhaps I might accompany you. Though I am woefully ill-qualified to assist in the Exarch's research, I may yet be of some use to Lena.
Okay. Bruce again? Salmon fillet. Oh, Brita. Alright, seeking counsel. I must confess, while I enjoy my fair share of scholarly research, it's good to step out We have a little time, so I will be brief. Sin Eater has been sighted. Sin Eater in Lakeland, and I am asked your assistance to slaying it. Sin Eater, I've heard some few remain after the night had returned, but perhaps we should call the others? It will not be necessary. There's only a single Sin Eater. Simple task for our guard, I should think. That said, I believe fighting alongside the Warrior of Darkness would be a valuable experience for them. Peace can lead to complacency, and they gain nothing from an easy victory. But you do not underestimate your foes, however harmless they may seem. My men would do well to learn from your example. And me, why not Alphinaud? You cannot be serious. Come now, Glide. What could be more inspiring than fighting alongside the renowned Warrior of Darkness himself? Excellent. Let's make for Fort Job. I need to pick up the pace. If you would wait here a moment, I will gather the others. You may not remember, but you have met these soldiers once before, though only in passing. Long have they waited the opportunity to fight at your side. I was at death's door, and that day after the Sin Eaters attacked. If you and yours had come along, I'd have likely stepped out. The courage and selflessness is something we aspire to. I too was there. My friend is transformed into Sin Eater before my very eyes. These are all the people in the cutscene. So I returned. Yes. Pleasure to meet you. I watched as you took flight astride an Amaro to go and save the Oracle. Strange to think that the Umoran soldiers we locked blades with are now on our side, but we will do our utmost to keep the peace here in Lakeland. We seem to be missing one. My apologies, Captain Lena. An elderly gentleman asked that I escort him to Clearmount. It took longer than I anticipated. I'll not begrudge your desire to help those in need, but a soldier must be punctual, especially when we play host to honored guests. It won't happen again. The name's Thaler. I'm sure you don't remember, but we met once before in the infirmary. Wow, an actual flashback. I asked you to deliver the message to Exide in the Warrior Darkness. Little did I know that I was already talking to him. Don't give up, don't give in. I keep those words close to my heart. The boundless, beautiful skies above serve as a reminder of their importance. How hard is it to do that on the amount of times they've reintroduced someone from a long time ago? Like the guy from Ralger's Reach, what was it, Medford? That's apparently from Redania. And my friend got to see the knight's return shortly before he passed. He left this world with a smile, satisfied with a glimpse of what was to come. But there were countless others who weren't so fortunate. They gave their lives for the promise of a future they'll never know, and so it falls to us to do everything we can to fulfill that promise. No matter what happens, we won't give up. We won't give in. Okay. Whatever, dude. Your heroism has inspired all of our guardsmen in much the same manner. Our scouts at the northern staging points have not had the pleasure of meeting you in person. Let's not keep them waiting. Way too drip. is slain. Ugh, I'm struggling right now. Man.
Did you slay this eater? Your orders were to await the main force before engaging.
No, Captain. It wasn't us, I swear it. A man came out of nowhere and cut it down before we knew what was happening.
Oddbert.
Yourself. Certainly it is no light warden, but nevertheless.
It's true. Felled it with a single swing of his axe, he did. I've never seen anything like it. So I says to him, who are you, the warrior of bleeding darkness? And he says, no, I'm a warrior of light. And that was it. Buggered off as quick as he came.
A warrior of light?
Why would someone go around calling himself that, though? It was those bastards who caused the flood. I mean, if you were going to pretend to be anyone, it'd be him, the warrior of darkness.
Eh? Oh, I didn't know. It's an honor.
Relax. Why is it just now disappearing?
Since
Or
the
did it-
Eater is no longer a threat,
Okay.
our work here is done. Return to your posts.
I had hoped to fight at your side today. But I'll continue to follow your example, and may we meet again.
I apologize for the wasted journey. It seems I overestimated the threat.
Yes, you did.
As for this warrior of light, I do not know who would be brazen enough to take that mantle for his own. Whatever it may once have meant, it is forever tainted by the association with the Flood. The Exarch told me the truth of Ardbert and his comrades' deeds, and I am aware they played some part in your own triumph. But to most, they are synonymous with the calamity that befell this world. Still, if this man is minded to destroy Sin Eaters, I may forgive him his unfortunate choice of alias. But that is neither here nor there. I thank you for accompanying me.
With that concluded, shall we return to the Crystarium? There is a proposal I should like to make.
Forgive me. There is one more thing. A personal concern of mine. I had hoped you might have a moment to speak privately.
Go away.
I shall go on ahead.
One-on-one with Lena.
I will not mince words. This matter concerns the Exarch. Though his countenance belies his age, his demeanor never has. He has seen more than any man should and grown ever more weary with time. But I see I give the wrong impression. While it is true he attempted to open a letter with the salmon fillet the other evening, we are not here because I suspect his mind is deteriorating. Nor do I believe him to be so maddeningly unconcerned by the prospect of his own death as he once was. Indeed, the opposite is true. It is for this reason that I seek your advice. Since he returned from the Tempest, the Exarch is not as he was. He seems a different man. A younger man. I know not the details of his research, but when I saw him at work recently, there was a glint in his eye that I had never seen before. He looked happy.
I wonder why.
It was as if he had peered into the future and for the first time found joy there. Though it gladdens me to see him thus, I wonder if I should not keep my distance. I fear that my presence will only anchor him to the past, remind him of all the pain that came before.
What? He misses you already.
Are you sure? Then perhaps we might remain as we were. As we have always been. What a relief. In that case, I will have to speak with him about the amount of time he is spending at work. This research is important, I know, but if he refuses to consider his own health, I will have to consider it for him.
Actually, maybe you should keep your distance. The hell is... It's whatever. Facing the truth. I will not keep you. You and your comrades have much to discuss. I will see the others back to their posts. Warrior of Lights. Why would anyone themselves call them that? Warrior of Light, harbingers of the flood and all the world's woes. That is, this wanderer would so boldly claim their title is most curious indeed. Strange. The others were shocked to hear what we found in Lakeland, but now that you're here, there's a proposal I would like to make. I have been spending a great deal of time in the Cabinet of Curiosity, and of late I have noted more and more people pursuing books on history, the years leading up to the flood in particular. I suspect they wish to know more about the Warriors of Light, as well they should, but nearly everything I've come across describes them as sin eaters or worse, regardless of whether or not this Warrior of Light is who they claim to be. I worry that their sudden appearance, in conjunction with this renewed interest in their predecessors, may lead to growing unrest and fear. If the people of the Crystarium seek the truth, I say we give it to them. I too can attest to the falsehoods found within full many of the Cabinet's tomes, with nary a mention of the noble deeds of Ardbert and his comrades. To be fair, they bear some responsibility for the flood, but when the tale is told again and again over the course of a century, I am not surprised to see their roles distorted and them painted as villains. If were it not for the records stored within the Crystal Tower, I would have had no reason to question that narrative. Unfortunately, the knowledge was of no use, for when I arrived here in the first, their reputation had already been irreparably tarnished. That said, there still remained those who worked tirelessly to defend their good name in those early days following the flood. Considering all the good they had done, I find it a wonder they needed defending at all. They brought to justice the man who misused my knowledge to bring about the fall of Ardbert. That such heroes could be spoken of in the same breath as sin eaters is absurd. Under normal circumstances, I would agree, but as time passed, those who knew firsthand of their deeds dwindled. In the end, only one true remained, that they were the cause of the flood. With the world on the brink of oblivion, it was all too easy for the warriors of light to become villains deserving only of resentment and hate. At that point, the truth mattered little. It would not change their lot. And thanks to all of you, however, their lot has changed, and now they may heed the long-forgotten truth. You claimed it was Ardbert who helped you overcome Emtsel, correct? Such a revelation would do well to sway the hearts of those who know him as only as a villain. I have shared this with a select few, but one and all must be told of the sacrifice. And to that end, I say we proceed with Alphino's plan. We call together with the people of the Crystarium and count to them the tale of the warriors of light and the flood that followed in their wake. Alright, just put it in the news. Put a newspaper out. Well, what do you say, Glad? I wish we had done this sooner. In hindsight, I'd agree, but better late than never, no? Ex-Arch, might I ask you to continue work with Beck Luke on our means of returning home? The rest of us will see the gathering, the people of the Crystarium and the Exedera. We have to reach out to anyone and everyone who might be willing to lend near. With any luck, your word will spread and more will accompany them. There can be no darkness without light. This guy Graha, man. Loot and shoot. Yo, they got me going all around? What is this? What the hell's going on? Glynard. Well, to what do I owe the pleasure? Whatever it is, I must ask you to be brief. With the night return, visitors have been flocking to the Crystarium, and I find myself too busy by half. I don't mind it, though. Seeing the stairs so full of life and excitement, one can almost forget the flood ever happened. Even happened. The Warriors of Light. Yes, the Exarch has mentioned them before, but everyone knows that them now as the Cardinal's virtues. Or are you suggesting there are more to that? Well, you've yet to steer us wrong, so I'm willing to hear what you have to say. Braggy, come to the booze. Yes, yes. Warriors of Light good. Warriors of Light good. New medicines to test. This needs to be winding stairs. Why do they have two entrances over here and nothing on that side? They both go to the same spot. These Warriors of Light didn't tell this whole story. Cabinet of Curiosity. Warren, this can't be. Sure, there's at least one book here that does not cast the Warriors of Light and their deeds in such a negative light. Huh? Forgive me. People wish to know the truth of the Warriors of Light. I search high and low, but every account portrays them as no more better than senators, abominations worthy of scorn and resentment. No, they were not always just so harsh, yet I can find no proof. I dare call myself a librarian. Easy now. You would address the people to tell them the truth? Count me in. There you are. Between the four of us, I dare say we've swept the strand from top to bottom. Now we need but wait for the people to gather. No, it's nighttime. Whoa, that's a lot of people.
Yes, this looks to be nearly everyone. Let us begin, shall we? Though I am usually the first to hold forth at such events, I think on this occasion that honor should fall to you.
They would be more inclined to take the word of the Warrior of Darkness.
Ishtola, no!
Indeed. In light of the subject matter, who better than thee to speak these truths?
Where's Alice? I need her. Whatever. Listen up, you mongrels. Warriors of Light good. I wonder if something different happens if you do all 4 quests. I still need to do tank and healer. It's gonna take a while. Do 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 do. My eyes. What the hell's happening? I'm getting flashbang to my eyes.
Wicked White. The Warriors of Light did all that?
Yosh.
So they never... I mean, they only ever wanted to help. And when everything they'd done turned to ash, they still carried on.
Carry on.
They gave everything to stop the flood. First their lives, then their souls. And they managed it too. In the end, they saved us. And we cursed their names.
Tisk, tisk.
This should go a long way towards clearing the air.
Lena? Oh, who's all the way back there? Uh-oh.
Impossible.
You can see him too?
I definitely see something. You don't think it's a ghost, do you?
Nay. Yonder standeth no bloodless apparition, but a warrior of light and darkness both. Ardbert.
What in the world?
It's you! The one who slew the Eater!
That it should be the warrior of darkness who brought the truth to light. You've saved me a fair bit of time, though I have a few words of my own to say, if I may. People of the Crystarium, I am Ardbert, one of those you know as a warrior of light.
What's his face?
That's impossible. You should be dead.
Aye, that I should. But as the world has been given new life, so too have I. I know not why I, and I alone, have been gifted this chance. But I do know this. Only by the will of the star itself could such a miracle come to pass. The hero who stands before you now, the warrior of darkness, is not of this world. And the day will come when he must return to his home. But this land is our home. And if it is to remain so, now and forevermore, it is we who must protect it. The time to rely on saviors from afar has passed. It is you who must rise. You who must become the new warriors of light.
Oh? He's spitting.
Us? Warriors of light?
Me?
None of us were born heroes, my friend. I was only ever a man with a thirst for adventure. But wherever my journeys took me, I was invariably confronted with the same choice. To lend what aid I could to those in need, or not. And I always chose the former.
Getting a little too close.
Any one of you could do the same. All you need is the will to help your fellow man, and the resolve to see it through.
All you need is love. Angry face.
From thine own lips did we learn of Ardbert's fate, and by thy countenance I gather thou art not inclined to recant thy testimony. Yet whosoever this man may be, his words hold truth and resonate with the citizenry besides. For us to voice our doubts here and now would serve but to sow disquiet.
Alright.
For better we retired under the ocular and there discuss this matter in private.
Go. I will stay here and watch.
What is this? Spying.
So, that is a warrior of light of the First. I've not had the pleasure of making his acquaintance, but as you all seem to be in agreement, I gather this is no simple case of mistaken identity.
As far as I was able to discern, that was indeed Ardbert. It has been a long time, but not that long. Could he truly have been resurrected as he claims?
No, absolutely not.
Ardbert did entrust his very soul unto thee. I see no reason to question thy judgment.
Nor I. To my eyes, your ether burns as brightly as the day you slew Emmett Selk. That is proof that he is with you still.
Then again, Gosetsu and Katsuyu
Yet that
came
which
back.
standeth now before the people is far more than a passing imitation. A
And guys.
rid of the cardinal virtues, though a sin-eater he is not. Which leaveth but one plausible explanation.
That he is an Ascian.
Given their fondness for posthumous possession, I would have to agree.
No!
As
No!
I understand, the Warriors of Light were laid to rest in Yulmore by those whom they had aided in life. At the time, some few still remembered them as heroes. Needless to say, 4 of them were subsequently exhumed to serve as the virtues. And if one knew where to look, Ardbert too would not have been difficult to find.
Assuming then that this is indeed the work of an Ascian, my mind inevitably turns to the last remaining paragon to survive the Sundering.
Elidibus?
Elidibus. That Xenos hath reclaimed his own flesh is known. Thus evicted from his borrowed form, and cognizant no doubt of Emmett Selk's failure here in the First, 'tis quite possible the emissary chose Ardbert for his next vessel.
Inhabiting the flesh of the fallen. My, that is unsavory. And they do this often, you say?
Yes, ma'am.
Verily, for they possess no corporeal forms of their own. In what one may term their natural state, none save those gifted with the echo can perceive them. Indeed, when Elidibus intruded upon the waking sands, his presence did go unmarked by all save Minfilia and the Warrior of Light. On that occasion, I myself remained ignorant of his coming until after his departure. It was only at a later juncture, when he deigned to appear before me in borrowed flesh, that I was finally able to take the measure of him. In such puppetry do the Ascians engage when they seek to influence the course of history.
And they have gained much by it. Emmett Selk single-handedly built the Garlean Empire in this manner, while La Hebrea came close to conquering Eorzea, having taken possession of Thancred's living body.
Yet it must needs be noted that the Ascians cannot avail themselves of all mortal vessels. For were they able to do so, none would serve as a better pawn than our own redoubtable champion. Mayhap the blessing of light shieldeth Hydaelyn's chosen from Ascian influence. Or mayhap other forces are at work. We cannot say for certain.
What? Right?
Whatever
Isn't
the
it
reason, I
the
hope
former?
it holds true. I dare not contemplate what might come to pass otherwise.
Is it not peculiar, then, that Ardbert's mortal remains should be susceptible, given that he was once a warrior of light? Or did the final departure of his soul make it possible, perhaps? Regardless, to hear an Ascian use him to call forth new warriors of light boggles the mind.
Regardless, no, let's go back and think about that.
Elidibus hath ever been an enigma, his ostensible purpose being to preserve the balance between light and dark. When he made overtures towards me, however, I was afforded a glimpse behind the mask of the self-appointed emissary.
Mask off?
I shall not defend mine actions, undertaken in pursuit of a better understanding of our foe as either wise or prudent. Nevertheless, what little I did glean may now prove useful. Elidibus possesseth a subtle mind, practiced in the art of manipulation. That he coaxed this star's most valiant heroes as far as the source with naught save half-truths is no trifling feat. And now I believe he doth employ his skills once more to some as yet unknown end. Though naught is certain, should my suspicions prove true, we shall have need of all our wits if we are to uncover and thereafter thwart his plot.
Agreed. 'Tis plain that simply speaking out against him will not avail us. At best, it would only serve to confuse the people. And I would hesitate to do anything which might tarnish Ardbert's reputation once more, nor yours by association. That being the case, it may be wise to keep a covert eye on this Ardbert's movements, as we attempt to discern his purpose and how best to mitigate his influence.
His performance appears to have concluded. What now? Go back out and follow him?
Twould appear Master Alphino already hath pursuit in mind, and I suspect one pair of eyes shall better serve our cause than half a dozen. Let the rest of us maintain an inconspicuous distance, for the present at least.
How do you get White Gatherer's Group? We were a hair's breadth from defeat, and we faced Emmett Silk, and now we must contend yet another Ascian. We must tread carefully. We must not act until Ardbert hath made plain his plans. 'Twould be folly to proclaim him false at this juncture. What a despicable practice, appropriating corpses. Such depravity eclipses any horrors I witnessed in the age of Wilbert. They must be stopped. Sleep disturbed. Movie time. You did well to dispel the falsehoods surrounding the Warriors of Light and their actions prior to the Flood, though I must say the reappearance of Ardbert, or rather who appropriated his identity, was a rather curious development. He is an impostor, of that there is no doubt, but to the masses he will appear as a hero returned from the grave. After the Warriors of Light were laid to rest in Yulmore, the people prayed fervently to the gods to deliver them from their plight. prayed that these fallen heroes be born again for their sacrifices. What bitter irony. I, for one, would like to know why Ardbert urged the people to become warriors of light themselves. Here we take action, we must needs ascertain his intent. Let us pray that our Master Alphinaud returneth soon with the most essential knowledge. For now, I think it's best to apprise Thancred and Rena of our efforts. When we do confront Ardbert, we shall no doubt have need of their strength. Agreed. I think it prudent we all take measures to prepare for what's to come. Beck, Luke, and I will continue our research, having you reprove, carry you home. I think it time I return to the Greatwood. Till now, everything we have learned of the Ashians has been handed to us at their leisure. But that was one of Emmett Selk's unique failings. I have no reason to think Elidibus will be as forthcoming. Fortunately, I recently received word from Fano that heretofore unexplored chambers have been discovered deep within the Katana Revel. Almet believes the relics within tell of a great calamity that befell of an ancient civilization, that of the Ashians, perhaps. They may lead us to the truths we seek. Would you care for company? I wouldn't dream of going without you. Oh Lord, what a line. When you are ready, make for Fano. Almet and her sisters will be expecting us. Bunny girls, then let us be about our tasks. Pray give my regards to the V's. Wait, what? Oh. Ladies! Welcome, allies of Ronka. We have accomplished much since last you came. With the Light Warden dead and its minions dispersed, we have at last reclaimed our hunting grounds near Rakiko Falls. It was there that we discovered more ruins, although we ran afoul of no traps with exploring its halls. We determined that the innermost chambers were warded by magic. We all were in agreement before any investigation could proceed. You should be summoned. We are grateful that you did. From what we have told me, I strongly suspect that the wisdom my comrades and I seek can be found within. This wisdom could prove invaluable, for we may soon face a foe whose greatest asset is our ignorance. I see, then it is good that you have come, for Ronka was once home to the greatest of weapons, knowledge and understanding. And it is our duty to ensure that you and yours do not want for either. That said, we must proceed with caution. To have reached the inner chambers unmolested suggests a more formidable deterrent yet lies within. Come now, surely there any threats sleeping within the ruins pale in comparison to those we have faced thus far. This is not a game, sister. You should not be so eager to run headlong and into danger. This one. Oh, and who was it pining for the return of our allies that we might venture into the ruins, clutching her staff at night, wishing it were? Oh, you promised not to tell. And then I suggest we get going. Get back here. Remind me, exactly how old are you and your sisters? On second thoughts, perhaps it's for the better, I do not know. I pray forgive their overzealous nature. None save we three have been privileged to escort you and yours into the ruins and bear witness to its secrets. Their hearts now burn with a curiosity that is not easily satiated. Please, you needn't apologize. As a seeker of knowledge myself, I understand full well their enthusiasm. If not for your sedulous efforts to protect the ruins, we would not be afforded this opportunity. Speaking of which, I believe I have kept you away from the ruins long enough. Come, let us make for the Katana Revel. What the hell's going on here? What are you doing? Even Emma Silk was taken aback to find a mural illustrating the final days in these ruins. What other surprises do you suppose that lie within? I feel oddly ill-equipped to venture inside, but with you here, I'm sure things will work out. Ready when you are. It is most strange for these halls to be left unguarded. Have care when breaking the seal on the chamber door. Danger surely awaits us on the other side. Movie time. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Come. Our new discoveries are to be found this way.
Auto scroll? And I didn't even scroll? Oh, we're in the Katana Revel. Are we just going backwards though?
The people of Ronka are known to have venerated animals, but these features do not match those of any indigenous species. This is no common beast. Though that much is plain from its proportions.
Lifelike, is it not? One could almost imagine it breathed. Why you... Ugh.
Are her eyes more blue?
Seems no different from the others we've seen.
Owls.
The sealed door lies ahead.
Puzzles.
As you see, one statue is missing. I expect we are meant to replace it as before.
Okay.
Too simple. There will be some additional defense mechanism. Just a moment. There are words carved into the stone. He who would disturb a hero's deserved slumber shall instead waken the beast and know his folly. Wait! Don't! What? But I only... What is happening?
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, it lives!
Why am I not surprised? Prepare yourselves.
Minimize me. Wait, what? I don't even know what you said. Teleports? Oh, it shrunk us. No? Teleport. Ooh. Acid. Triple triad. Duty commenced. You trespass mortal upon sacred ground, and retribution 4 souls have I bound. Yet to heroes proven learned and wise, a comrade's soul shall be their prize. It would see their sets free, answer me these riddles 3. Deft of paw, with kin do I vie, though sought apart, betterment of the whole do our efforts decry. Describe, what am I? What the heck? Deft of paw, with kin do I vie, thoughts sought apart, betterment of the whole do our efforts describe. Deft of paw? I don't have a paw? Is that what that means? With kin do I thee, though sought apart, betterment of the whole do our efforts descry. It's not English. Indeed, the Opopo is keen and shrewd, the spirit of ingenuity by whose guidance the Ronkins did prosperity pursue. The riddle's answer you did discern, and thus to you a soul returns. With fearsome fang, I travel with pack. Together we find harmony, and thus for peace our land does not lack. Well, perhaps a hint is carved in the stone. What? I don't know, you're saying pack, can you put a wolf here? But I feel like that's bait. What about talking about peace? Peace? I don't know, you put a pack, I put wolf. Indeed, 'twas the spirit of the wolf their doctrines praised, that they would know peace and harmony to the end of their days. The riddle's answer you did discern, and thus to you a soul returns. Oh, on my belly do I crawl, but my strength does prosperity reign within our hall. What am I? Wow. I mean, is it the first answer? Or is it the second answer? Indeed, the dread serpent turned protector, lured to its slumber ere it tear the world asunder. The riddle's answer you did discern, and thus to you a soul returns. Course. Desire you that which I yet claim, then we shall play another game. Yay, 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 yay. A test of mind and memory. Choose wisely, and you all may go free. Twixt these talismans hide friend and foe. Choose your companions well, or sorrow no. What? They all look the same. She was on the left. What is the meaning to the arrangement, though? Like, what? Where's the clue? What does this have to do with anything? How did they get zapped? I don't even remember. What would the meaning of this arrangement be? Twixt these talismans hide friend and foe. Choose your companions well, or sorrow no. Whatever, I don't care. What? What? Oh, is this just match 2? Well. Well done. Your comments are assembled together at last. Yet still there remains one trial you must pass. If you would glean the knowledge enshrined in this earth, I would first take the measure of your worth. One worthy of she who the Ranka extolled must be strong of body, mind, body, and soul. Oh? Gazelle. Finally, this is what I was expecting to find here in the ruins. Be careful, sisters. Hold nothing back. Failure of this test does not mean disappear. Quickly, fan out before it strikes. Sights set on Y'shtola. Hurry, you must protect her. Alright, hurry. We have to save him. You're a little late on that, Y'shtola. Interesting. Everybody knew the mechanic? Drop the bomb. Y'shtola got hits. You may think you have won, but we have only just begun. Animate. Poison. Come, gather to me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, nuts. Let's waste time with the slime. Focus on the guardian. Show them your all. Oops. Quickly before they can overwhelm us. Well fought, hero. The trial's complete. The way is open, and thus I concede defeat. Not wholly unexpected, but an exhausting ordeal nevertheless. That should be the last of the chamber's defenses. At last we can leave. I'm glad that's all over. Hoot hoot. The statue's gone.
Twould seem the magics have returned us. How polite. Now, what have we learned?
Ah, we were bound to run into a living statue eventually. And now we can open the door.
Stop smiling.
He who would disturb a hero's deserved slumber.
There a dragon eye in there?
A tomb, just as I thought. Befitting a hero.
she is Vis. Could it be the Archmage Tiuna? A legendary hero of Ronka, as you surmised. The tales tell of how she smote entire armies with a single incantation, so potent was her spellcraft. Though she ever fought in the name of peace.
I thought them no more than tales. To think she really existed.
Well, I for one always believed.
I wonder. By the light of fallen stars, great power awakens.
Tiuna was not only a master of spellcraft. It is said she could see truths long lost and hear the voices of men's hearts.
Huh?
Naught less than the echo. In which case, none of this is mere coincidence. A shower of stars setting the sky aflame.
Calamity.
In both this world and the source, we find individuals within whom a mysterious power awakened at the sight. We can never unpick the why of it. Now, however, I believe we might.
Never mind.
Does the scene depicted here not resemble the one we saw when we first ventured into the Katana Ravel? Moreover,
Maybe?
does it not recall that which Emmett Selk invited us to witness in Amarot?
Maybe? Yes. Forgot about that dungeon.
The final days. If, as the Exarch's research suggests, soul and mind share a fragile yet profound bond, might it not be possible for an event to leave such a deep imprint upon the soul that it could be perceived eons later, given a suitable trigger? The echo defies explanation by conventional etherological theory, or shall we say modern etherological theory. But if it is a power that once belonged to the ancients, to souls yet undivided, it would seem I have entered the realm of pure speculation, and I call myself a scholar. I shall refrain from making any further wild claims until such time as I have evidence. Still, I cannot choose but be reminded of our experience in Amarot.
I will not soon forget.
Remember us.
She was there for that? Oh yeah. Now I remember. Wait, who said that?
History is learned, not lived. We have always protected the tales of Ronka, just as we have protected this place. But we are mindful of what our mothers taught us. We see the past through our own eyes, and speak of it with our own words. Thus do we come to understand it in our own way. But this is not the same as remembering.
Your mothers were wise. Though we witnessed the final days, our impressions cannot fail to be colored by our own experiences and expectations. Those who lived through it would have perceived the event quite differently. We must bear in mind that it is no simple matter to keep the truth alive, or it will die with Emmett Selk and his kin. But we have disturbed Tiuna long enough. Fana will serve similarly well as a venue for our contemplations.
What did she just say? Tuana? That's Tiuna. We learn nothing of the Ashians, but the potential link between the Echo and the preternatural star showers is intriguing. Says you? Tiuna is the reason I took up spellcraft, you know? Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine her tomb would be found, let alone that we would be the ones to have the honor to do so. I sorely underestimated the defenses of these ruins. Perhaps Simetz was right to urge caution. By your pensive expression, I take it the tomb has given you much to think about. That is well. In time, the knowledge you have gleaned will lead to understanding, and thus arm you for what is to come. Before you leave, however, I would speak again of the teachings of our forebears, of histories learned but not lived. The legend of Tiuna and her exploits has been told countless times over the centuries, yet as it is handed from one generation to the next, the story changes. With each telling of the tale, there are new flourishes, detailed change or lost. We can never truly know how she lived, for we were not there to see it. But we are here now to bear witness to your life. We have seen the change you have wrought, the echoes that will endure long after you are gone, and though it too will change in time, I swear to you, we shall do our best to preserve your story. I hope you'll forgive me if I don't make an oath on my own, but I think it goes without saying we could never misspeak of your heroism. Perish the thought, so long as we are here, there are none among the V's who will not know of all you have done for Novrand. We are not deserving of such reverence, but we are grateful all the same. You can be certain we will have our own tales to tell of the great guardians of Raktika and the ruins of Ronka. I pray you safe travels then, as ever. We shall await your return with open arms. Memories. Mural. Yes. An old friend. Although we learned naught of the Ashians, the insight we gained into the Echo made our trip worthwhile. Before we return to the Custarium, however, there is a small matter I would attend to in Slitherbow. Might you have trouble you to come with me? Thank you. After we arrive, we should have a brief word with Runar. Oh, not Runar. Runar appears to be characteristically and uncharacteristic. What is this? Oh, okay. Glad, it is so good to see you. You've arrived at a most opportune time. I was preparing a pot of my famous stew. Come, I will ready a place for you. I'm sorry, Runar, but we haven't the... Please, I insist. It will only take a minute. My apologies, Glide. It seems our return to the Custarium will be delayed, but perhaps only for a bit. If you would assist me with my work, I say work, but it is rather more a chore. I must clean my chambers here in Slitherbow from top to bottom. You would be so kind as to go and fetch a broom from Asgare? We might finish before Runar is done cooking. A broom for Master Matoya? I cannot imagine why she would have need of such a thing, but here you are. It is old but sturdy, and should sure to suffice. Oh god. I trust you got the broom. Well worn, good. This would prove difficult otherwise. Though I must say, I think I did rather well for not having a broom thus far. Huh? I mean, so whatever. Yes, well, you weren't buried beneath a veritable avalanche of books when you entered, were you? Right, anyway, it is time I finished cleaning the help of that broom. With the help of that broom. You got magic? You didn't honestly think I'd do the old-fashioned way? That broom is more than capable of sweeping by itself, or rather it will be. Aludivus vadubidus. Time to rise, to swish and sweep. A tidy chamber you must keep. To this task you shall be bound, until no dust be found. What is... In this one particular respect, I have no objections to following Master Matoya's footsteps. In future, I may need you to remind me the pursuit of knowledge does not preclude other equally important duties, such as maintaining clean quarters for said pursuit. What are you doing? I will dearly miss this place, these people. Ha 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 ha. Master Matoya, pardon the interruption, but the stew is ready. Something troubling you? You've been rather quiet. No, everything is fine, I assure you. It has been a long day, is all. I see. Thank goodness you're still here. LSA. Helpful now, I thought you were following Ardbert. I was, though I'm sad to say I lost track of him shortly after entering these woods. He seems determined to traverse every elm of the Norvrant in his quest to spread the truth of the warriors of light and the flood. And it seems news of your address at the Castellan precedes him at every destination, making his task all the more simple. It remains to be seen to what end that he encourages the people to become warriors of light themselves. But there is no denying that his words have struck a chord with many. Well, we're all agreed that this is just another Ashian ploy, yes? They've commandeered corpses before, and to no good end. I see no reason to think this time is any different, especially when it's that of a fallen warrior of light. Why does he have the bow thing? What? Since when do they have the same... Since when does Aquino have a ponytail? Did he always? Actually, maybe he did. Did he have a ribbon though? I doubt we'll learn more if we remain a step behind. His next destination is, in all likelihood, Slitherbow. LSA, are you certain you should be here? You're concerned about Halric and the others. You needn't be. Their treatment is going well, but progress is slow and exhausting for all of us. The best thing I can do now is let them rest. So I believe we were about to discuss how to arrange a meeting with our would-be warrior of light. Alright, sassy. Before visiting any towns or villages, our Brits would hunt down and slay a nearby sin eater to earn the locals' trust. Our best chance of getting ahead of him is to find one before he does. Thankfully, Thancred and Reen have returned from the empty and have taken up the search. Reen believeth one may lurk beyond the bows of woven oath. Then that is where we will start our search. Master Matoya! A warm bowl of stew will be awaiting your return. I look forward to it. It be like that sometimes. Thancred, Reen. I can sense no other sin eaters in the area. I hope this means Ardbert will be coming this way soon.
If you were hoping to vent your frustrations on our Issa friend here, I can only apologize.
Few as they are now, it took us no time at all to track it down.
Alright,
That
Reen.
suits our purpose perfectly. Now we need only wait for Ardbert to arrive.
Weren't you two meant to be attending to the empty?
We were, and are, but we can hardly ignore the rest of the world, so we thought we might see how things were coming along. From what we can gather, the answer is strangely.
Right now, we think we can do more good here.
It is heartening to have all present.
Indeed. We will be glad of the additional hands should matters escalate.
Our quarry has come.
Showtime.
It seems I've lost this particular race.
All that filler talk.
Although I suppose it's only fair. When we first met, it was I who outpaced you. Ravana, was it?
This guy.
But where are my manners? I wouldn't be here were it not for you, and I have yet to say a word of thanks.
He wants a lot of light, it seems like. Extend a friendly fit. Oh man, I kind of want to do this. Oh wait, what? No, that's a friendly fist.
I'm giving you trouble. You should have it examined.
Oh, okay, that's because the thing. Thought you were supposed to be good at this.
Very well. Let us forego this pretense.
The hell's this voice?
After all, it was never you that I needed to deceive.
Mask off.
Yes, it is I, Elizabeth.
So at least mask on.
Through your time in Emet-Selk's imitation of our home, I dare say you have gained a better understanding of my role since last we met. Not that it matters.
Wait, so he's scared of Xenos, but not me?
We understand your role, emissary, but not your goal. What is it that you seek to achieve?
I seek to enact the will of the Convocation, of course. If it helps you to think of me as but another Ascian, no different in nature or purpose from the rest, you are welcome to do so.
Okay. Where the word oversight at?
Once, I would have said your goal was destruction alone. Now I understand that you fight for something you love, just as we do. Yet though we seem doomed to clash, I bid you consider Emet-Selk's final words. Remember that we once lived, he said. Had he not seen some glimmer of hope in our kind, I do not believe he would have spoken thus.
It's facts.
None better understood your plight than he. His words must surely be worthy of your consideration.
Emet-Selk. How very unlike you to err so gravely. That one should stray at the end of so onerous a path is understandable, but I had thought you above such weakness. Mayhap you thought the same. Would that I had been present to offer correction. But I shall do so now, as is my duty, and return all to its proper course. As for you, look at yourselves. Look at your history. Look back 100 short years to how your greatest warriors were undone. And now, at but a word from me, you raise your hands in answer like the puppets you are. Naught has changed. You fail, and you fail, and you learn nothing. Allow that which is most important to slip through your fumbling fingers like so many grains of sand, again and again and again, and you would remember us. You do forget yourselves.
What's he rambling about?
There is no common ground to be found between you and I. Nor do I require any.
Strike him now!
I have my duty.
Wait!
The fist bump was from the Shadowbringer's end.
Well, we have confirmed the identity of our foe at least. And 'tis safe to say his objective is the rejoining.
One of those cutscenes.
But we still have no idea how playing the part of a warrior of light will further his cause, nor why he would spur others to do the same.
I don't know why he would.
Another visit to the Tempest may shed some light upon these mysteries. Whether we are to exchange words or blows with Elidibus at our next meeting, the fact remains, we know too little. Ere our paths cross again, I would learn more of the world that once was, and of Elidibus himself. In this, we would be best served going directly to his home, much as Emmett Selk came to ours.
Though I see the wisdom in thy suggestion, the Amarot we visited is but a phantom born of Emmett Selk's memory. I fear it will teach us little that we do not already know.
I quite agree. Yet the ruins of the actual city remain unexplored. Given the vastness of the Tempest, I should not be surprised were there more such structures like to those in which the Ondo reside.
Ondo? As long as you don't make me do any more chores.
Keep that up and I'll send you to bed without supper.
What?
Assuming we are all in agreement, then I suggest we first pay a visit to the Ondo. If anyone can tell us where more ruins are to be found, it is them.
What is that? What was that? What's happening? Spell speed. Disdain and obfuscation. Why? What is that true design? Emissary? What? Langrid told me what La Habrea did to him. I can't imagine how he's feeling right now. I hate to leave him like that. Gods, you can't even let a man rest in peace. Am I the only one who sees the irony in Argbert calling us puppets? With that, I had found the words to deny Lilibus. We are so much more than he believes us to be. And yet, deep designs. Alphino has the right of it. Let us pay a visit to the Ondo. We should speak with Tal's Oth first. As chieftain, he is doubtless privy to a great many secrets. What's this confetti? What the hell? Gemstones? Where am I going? Where am I going? Do. The last time we were here, the Ondo sent us to slay a massive creature. 'Twas as large as a Leviathan, twice as angry, and yes, of course, I jest. It was only half as large. I'm glad to have the opportunity to visit the Tempest again. It's so lovely here, like a different world entirely. Mayhap we shall find the secrets we seek in these depths, should their keepers consent to aid us. Perhaps we might look in on Posh's own while we're in the area. Don't be shy now. This place feels much less ominous than the first time we were here. And again, we did have the shadow of your impending death hanging over us. I have sent for no finless ones. Perhaps you instead come seeking something of us? Ruins which your kind have yet to explore. See, oh, come on, man. And what circumstances are these? I know of one such place. Alas, under these circumstances, I am afraid we can spare none to guide you there. What circumstances? Rather than hunt for their own meals, the Benothos have pillaged our stores of Minuri liver. They must be replenished with haste. The Benthos, a particularly violent tribe of Ondo, if I recall. A band of bottom feeders. We all lost much in the flood, but while others work to be revealed, they resort to thievery and murder. Revenge they call it, when they prey upon your kind. But do not be fooled, they care not who they harm. With that, we had the warriors to challenge them. This is not the first time they have stolen from us, but there is no resource more precious than liver. All must dedicate themselves to the hunt. Unless, of course, we were to reclaim the livers for you. Yay. It seems a fitting payment for vital information, does it not? Moreover, one could argue that by employing Bismarck to reach these depths, thereby driving back the waters, we are in part responsible for the deeds of those driven to desperate ends by the changing climes. One good turn and all that. I thought you might say that. You've never been one to miss an opportunity to help. Reclaiming the stores it is then. We would be grateful beyond words if you did. The Benthos have surely taken the livers back to the Founder's floor, but be warned, there will be no shortage of guards waiting to spear intruders. And we will have care not to draw their attention, shall we? Was I even able to see this area? Was this area fogged before? I wonder. Maybe that's why I couldn't see around. Well, no, it's still the top is still fogged. Maybe it was by purpose. Nervous? Me? Not at all. It's a bit dark though, isn't it? Definitely not haunted though. Certainly not. They're not much of a threat one-on-one, but Tulsoth was right about their numbers. If we fight them all, we'll be here for a fortnight. Poggy woggies, poggy woggies. If I were a bandit leader, I'd surely keep my spoils deep within my stronghold. Where am I going? I guess you're not supposed to fly. Gills off Swiftclaw. These aren't delivers, but they're certainly stolen from somewhere, unless wheat has started growing on the sea floor since last I checked. Oh man. Bedraggled box. This box is sorted with sorted vegetables. Liver is not a vegetable. Thank you, Square. Could it be under? Bubbly stuff, something bubbly. Do. Those all enough. Perhaps you've deduced this already, but it seems the Benthos have been raiding Calusia's storehouses as well as those of the Ondo. Oranges, pumpkins, wheat. But we cannot discuss this after we see the... We can discuss this after we see the liver safely back to Tulzok. And what to do to keep him in suspense. I have a feeling that there's more to this. No, it sounds strange, but there really was a bird in those caves. You happened to see a bird while you were in the caves. Vince insists that there was one bird, but how? I'm relieved to see you unspeared. So, I try not to get speared. Our precious livers, and I knew you would not fail. But we also found a manner of foodstuffs from Calusia in the Founder's floor. Tell me, Tulsa, does that seem odd to you? It is brazen, to be sure. I'm reminded of rumors I've heard recently concerning a rash of thefts from Calusian warehouses. perpetrators enter in the dead of night and are gone before anyone has realized that what has happened. The Umoran army has been investigating, but thus far to no avail. Perhaps the reason they have struggled so is that they're couriers of the sea. The true question, then, is what we mean to do about it. Much as I would like to proceed to the ruins without further delay, we cannot allow the Benthos to carry on as they are. If I may, I believe that the ruins are, in fact, key to the Benthos' plans. Is that so? These ruins, which lie deep within the illuminated land, are a recent discovery. We have seen signs that the Benthos are preparing to claim them all with all haste. We could not fathom why, but in light of the knowledge that they have been stockpiling resources, it is clear that their queen will soon give birth. They require space to raise their young and food for both their queen and hatchlings to thrive. Well, we can hardly fault them for that. Under normal circumstances, perhaps, but conditions in the Tempest have far from suitable for spawning. Its resources barely are barely able to sustain our current population. There is only one reason they would discard this. They seek to build an army, and with it take a revenge upon the Finless. It is not a surprise. They came to us not long ago, seeking allies for the cause. We rebuffed them. Of course, the suffering of others will not serve as balm to their own. Their queen, however, desires only bloodshed and will gladly send her children to die in our stead. If they are planning to wage war, that changes matters considerably. Indeed. I doubt that this can be resolved without violence, but perhaps with a show of force we can convince them to see reason before the die is cast. I would rather not risk your people in the attempt. If we travel to the illuminated land, is there a way we can identify the ruins ourselves? Yes, when you reach its depths, go deeper still. You will see a monstrous structure there upon the sea floor. That you have come to us now is the will of the Ancient Ones. They have guided you here that you may drive out the usurpers, these who seek to use their magnificent creations with vile purpose. I have no doubt that they will show you the way forward. I'm afraid that the dead do not speak quite so clearly. Nevertheless, we shall try not to disappoint. If what we seek lies deeper still, beyond Amarat, I would call upon the assistance of another. I would not care for what happened in Limsa to be repeated a world away. The Benthos know not what they do. Is it wrong for me to be a bit excited? I know the circumstances are grave, but imagine what those ruins might hold. Why do these problems always turn out to be so much more complex than they seem? Couldn't we have a simple, straightforward adventure for once? The good guys good, the bad guys bad, no drama or intrigue, and it all ends with tea and tarts? The will of the ancients, if only it were so simple. It doesn't feel all that honorable and or heroic to strike first, but if it leads to less bloodshed in the end. A whale's tale. Though our course hath been decided to pursue its, we must needs beseech the aid of a friend. I speak of Bismarck. Pray follow me to the Sullen, that we might seek an audience with him once more. What the hell's happening? I think this is faster. I think I can. Where did they take me? Wait, what? Oh my god. God, it's not here. Lake Van Enemy. Someone just died. I have to be close by now. Proceed on foot. Here we go. You perfected your technique then? Just so, the water will be a glass beneath my feet, and provideth purchase, fragile yet true. Watch closely. Oh, I certainly shall. Forgive me, but would it not be easier to perfect your swimming technique? It would be a pity if you drowned truly. Oh, hush. I'm sure it'll be brilliant. Don't smile. What are you doing? Moses? No, Jesus. He's done it. I think he's done it. Incredible. One false step. Gotta drown. I've lost focus. Splash. For the love of hoopla. Mine apologies. The technique requires the purest of focus, and mine was lacking. To perfect this magic, I went so far as to deal with the Foth, and with their aid, mine efforts finally met with success, albeit on a single occasion. I know not why I cannot repeat it. I thought I saw you waver a bit there toward the end. Perhaps you're simply tired? Uh-oh. Tancred was the first one in. He's starting to lose it. Tancred. It's nothing to worry about. Only a dizzy spell, though it may not be wise to go for another swim just now. Thankfully, we have an alternative, a wonderful little invention. I'm certain you'll agree. A boat? I must admit, I'd been keen to attempt walking on water myself, though I know what Alice would say. I'll stick to swimming, thank you very much. Do you think those two are really alright? Perhaps we should take a moment to rest? Before you make some quip about the age catching up with me, you'd be out of breath too if you had to drag Uranja out of the sea without so much as a warm-up. What sort of dealings with the Foth, I wonder? I will petition Bismarck's aid on our behalf. Let us pray my diplomacy proveth more effective than my experimental magics. You speak with the voice of the king, little neighbors. I will not deny you. As before, if you seek what sleeps beneath the sea, I will be your guide. Thy kindness is as boundless as the depths, sea marine one. Before we depart, however, I would ask a favor. After our last fight, I have found many creatures clinging to me. I am hitchy. Remove them, and I will take you below. All haste it shall be done. So, did he agree? Though I agreed to do a favor in kind, regrettably 'tis not one I possess the power to grant. Bismarck hath asked us to cleanse his underbelly of barnacles. Alas, one must needs dive beneath the surface to do so. Even if I could master the power to walk upon it, it would prevail me not. Oh, for heaven's sake, is that all? Glide and I are more than capable of that. Wait, whoa, hold on. With the Kojin's blessing, we'll have done it with it in moments, and better than that than standing here and listening to this nonsense. I'll take the right, you the left. Now go. Yes, ma'am. I am in your debt. Yes, I'm perfectly recovered, thank you. It's a minor miracle that we all accomplished anything at all, wouldn't you say? I think Thancred's embarrassed. To my apologies, this adventure hath not proceeded as smoothly as I hoped. None of us is much a match for Alice when she's like this, aside from Stola, perhaps. Well, that was disgusting. I pray will not be required to attend to any other matters of personal hygiene. Thine efforts are most sincerely appreciated. I will inform Bismarck that we may depart without further delay. Much better. Thank you, little neighbors. I remember, a long time ago, another did this favor for me. Hardbert. After the flood, when I chose this spot for my slumber, he came and made a home on my back. Ken was his name. When I grew itchy, I stirred, but he was not afraid. No, he asked me what was wrong. I told him of the creatures clinging to my belly, and he dove into the water. He helped me. He was my friend. He told me he wished to live in peace, away from his people and their wars. This I understood. I treasured our time together, brief though it always is, but I remember him and how he laughed when we flew. I remember when he slept. I too slept that day, many days since. But the light fades and the darkness returns. Ken sleeps, but in memory he laughs. And together we fly, and I am here. I am awake. It feels good to speak and to be heard again. Shame others cannot understand me. If thou art willing to learn, I would gladly teach thee the language of man. Poggies! Thank you, little friend, but it is time I grant you your request. But first I will take flight to cleanse my body and prepare. The dive will be swift, and I would not have you struck by errant debris. So this island was named for a man. How easily the past is forgotten. He passed not even 100 years ago, yet the truth has slipped from history, like so many grains of sand. Might I have some explanation of what he just said, or shall we all stand about making vague and mysterious allusions? While he maketh ready to deliver us to our destination, Bismarck bade us wait for him on the shore of Colosseum. That's all. I feel as though there was more to it. Indeed, there was, but it hath no bearing on the task at hand. I should be glad to share the rest with you anon. Fine, later then. If Bismarck requires time to prepare, might I suggest a short respite for Uraja and Thancred in particular? I require no such thing. I am the picture of perfect health. Mine was but a momentary lapse in concentration. Worry not on my account. You mustn't push yourself so. Please rest for us. Oh, alright, if you insist. Two dads. Wait, what? No, I'm not the third dad. You too, Glide. You've been running yourself ragged. Yes, ma'am. In that case, I leave the old men in your care. The rest of us will meet you at the Split Hull Monad. Word of advice, never let it show. When she realizes she's struck a nerve, she remembers. By the gods, she remembers. In any case, if we must be made to rest, I know a place in Sullen that's better for the most. Come with me. With age cometh wisdom, or so I pray. May as well have a seat, we wouldn't want our elderly knees to give out. Remember when I was possessed by an Ashian? Remember when I was working with the Ashians? Fuck you. To hear her speak, you'd think I'm on a deathbed. Good 12, I wish that girl wouldn't be worried so much. Countenance believes thy words, Master Thancred. I'm sure I don't know what you mean. Let the record show that I am here under protest. Though I can't say I mind the view. Nice foggy view. Not even foggy, it's cloudy. And if the abundance of anglers is any indication, even an amateur might land an impressive catch. Shall we try our hands at it? Help! Someone! Quickly! It's Nightshade. He was attacked on the road from Pisterium. Barely escaped with my life. Suppose we might have protected us? You mean you'll help for free? Thank you. Hey, we never said anything about free. If I recall correctly, Nightshade is a local band of outlaws. I doubt they'll trouble us over much. It's no more than they already have by interrupting our relaxation at any rate. I'll save our miscreant to be unharmed. These two have matters well in hand, by the looks of it. I'll not forget this kindness. May we meet again. Is that you? Don't tell me we just... Is this the Coltonaut and Hoary Boulder? Don't tell me we just deprived that poor fellow of the honor of being rescued by the Warrior of Darkness. We had no idea you were in the area. Fancy us meeting again so soon, eh? While I believe I even recognize your companion. Ah yes, from the infirmity. You had a message for the Crystal Exart, did you not? It's good to see you back on your feet, and on patrol no less. Oh, it's nothing as official as all that. Strictly speaking, we're off duty, but as we had a free moment, we thought we'd give a few of the less traveled roads a look. Guard doesn't have enough hands to patrol them regularly, you see? That's admirable. There are a few so devoted to their duty, in Lakeland or beyond. Sadly, our duties prevent us from venturing too far from our own little corner of Noverant. What we'd really like to do is travel, to better ourselves and go where the needs is greatest. But everyone has to start somewhere, don't they? Well, future heroes are the first, don't you think? They want not for spirits, 'tis but a pity they draw inspiration from so clouded a wellspring. Yet it availeth us not to fret in idleness. We must press on if we are to bring Elidibus' schemes to light. It pains me to think that the men, sure... I was able to finish this, but I'm getting a little tired.